to another episode of Disqualified. I am your NXT Predictions Champion, Trevin, joined as always by the main roster Predictions Champion, Caleb.
Hola!
And Zach, our producer and cameraman, is there behind the camera.
Hello. Oh, we're here to talk about Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, because of the early start time, it is fresh in our mind.
Yes, we're actually recording this on a Monday for once.
Yeah!
Yeah,
And it was a pretty good one.
it's a pretty good one. A lot of stuff set up for Evolution.
Yeah, basically set up Evolution, the show, kind of, but also some decent change-ups, and one change-up that I really like.
Is it the one that I hate?
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. We'll get to the...
Oh, you're talking about the one
Yeah.
match. Okay.
Yeah, but first we open with, as advertised, Rhea Ripley.
It's Mommy's house and Mommy's home.
Yep. And she is here to decide what her next move is. She just got done with Raquel, and she is going to move on to bigger things. And she mentions how Evolution is coming up. And then we hear dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, Io Sky comes out.
Yep.
And she says, you know what? Before you can even say it, you're not on top because I have this.
Yep. And she's like, at Evolution, I get to pick my opponent, and it would be an honor for it to be you.
So now for all the people that are going to complain, Rhea's getting a title shot. Rhea's getting a title shot. She got challenged.
Yep. The champion challenged the person.
So.
And to be fair, it's already a set-up story. They're two faces, they're good friends, and also Io knows that Rhea is like the last pillar to make her championship like actually mean something, because she won it off Io, but all the ways she beat Rhea in that path were a little iffy.
Mm-hmm.
So she's like, I want to prove that I can hold this clean against you.
Yeah. And so that is set for Evolution. Rhea Ripley versus Io Sky for the Women's World Championship. And I'm thinking main event.
Probably the main event. They're both high on the card and highly liked on the internet, so main event status is good for this match.
Or what they usually do is they put Rhea towards the beginning of the card. So
Yeah.
we might see that.
Yeah.
It's either one of those two. Rhea is not get put in the mid card. She doesn't get put in the middle.
Rhea is either the opener or the main event. Last Saudi show was a little weird because it was a Saudi show, to be fair.
Mm-hmm.
But still, Rhea is either she opens the night or she closes out the night.
Yeah, and speaking of opening the night, here is our opening match. It is some tag team action. And for some tag team gold, it is the Judgment Day. JD McDonough and Finn Balor taking on the New Day, represented, or actually, no, they're not represented. They just are. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods.
Yep.
There's no third member.
Yep, your tag team champs in the New Day, and this is, of course, for the titles.
Woods was wearing trunks.
And it threw you off.
It threw me off. Why?
I don't know.
I hate when wrestlers randomly go
And switch up their aesthetic.
Yeah, the biggest one for me is Crime Time. You don't know this act. It's older. I want to show you this act because I love Crime Time. Crime Time. JTG would wear baggy jeans with one leg rolled up with a bandana covering a knee pad. And then randomly in, I think like 2011, 2012, he switched to trunks. It's like, what? Not even tights, trunks? I don't know. I don't like trunks for wrestlers. They just look weird. Why are you out there in your underwear?
Yeah. But this match, I won't lie, was pretty decent.
Oh, it cooked.
Yeah.
There was so many near falls. It was like, what is going on?
The pacing of the match was thrown off because I'm like, one of these two teams is going to pull out shenanigans. It's Judgment Day versus trying to be classic heel New Day. Judgment Day was in the face corner, which threw me off for a hot sec.
And they played it like faces. They didn't call for help.
No. Yeah. And there were no shenanigans on either side either. The match basically
Finn got hit with the title belt. That's not a shenanigan.
Oh, I forgot about that spot.
They tried hoodwinking the man.
Yeah, but he kicked out of it. It's one of the near fall spots. That's why I forgot about it.
But yeah, no.
Shenaniganery did happen once, but the most part, the match was still.
I like how we combined shenanigans and chicanery. Shenaniganery.
Yeah, shenaniganery was afoot for one spot. The rest of the match was decently clean for tag action. There was, of course, the try to get the opponent in the corner spots, but that's just tag action. But in a shocking turn of events, that as the match went on, we both were like, "Oh, they're actually pulling the trigger."
Trevin, it said it on their gear. Thank God. The title reign is over. The Judgment Day are your new tag team champions.
Hallelujah!
Yeah. The World Tag Team Championships are back on Judgment Day.
Which means all 5 members of the Judgment Day hold gold.
Well, you just spoiled the next thing.
Liv technically holds gold.
If that's true. You know what? I just fucked it up.
But to spoil it, the general managers are discussing what to do with the women's tag titles, and your new tag champs walk in being like, "Hey, we are multi-time tag champs. We know how stressful it is when one of the members get injured. But of course, there is a rule within company on an easy way to fix this." And Finn brings up, why not just have Liv pass it on to Roxanne? I mean, she's already basically in the club. She'd be a very easy way to make sure we don't have to do any funny business. And the GMs of Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce consult. They do a little huddle being like, I mean, it is kind of fair. And they're like, fine. You can freebird it onto Roxanne on one condition. They still have to retain it in a fatal 4-way at Evolution with a rep against a rep from each brand. So it'll be Raquel and Roxanne versus a team from Raw, a team from SmackDown, and a team from NXT at Evolution.
So NXT, Fatal Influence, or Zaruka. Or the secret third option, Izzy and Tatum, if they want to go that route.
Yeah.
SmackDown?
Secret Hervis?
It's going to have to be.
Yeah. They are teasing at BFAB and Meech and making a tag team, but...
And then you get Raw.
Probably the Dungeon Babes finally.
Dungeon Dolls?
Dungeon Dolls finally premiering.
Could be. Yeah, they're like the only tag team other than the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
They really need to retire these belts, man. They need to put some more tag teams together or something.
Yeah. So that is announced, and as us on this podcast decide to call it, the Irish Block continues with one Rusev versus one Sheamus.
Oh.
This
match sorry. Big meaty man slapping me.
Yes, this match took up a majority of the show's runtime. With good reason.
Oh my god. You know, I just said Oba versus Jasper was what I think of when I think of Hoss fight. And then...
This match is up there, if not above it.
Yeah. What the hell?
These boys were sweating. They were punching. You could already see bruises forming. And they decided, nah, let's keep running them ones.
Yeah, and it ends in a weird fashion.
Yes.
So Rusev takes Sheamus over to the corner. They're fighting outside of the ring on opposing sides of the turnbuckle.
Yep.
The padding gets taken off by Rusev after a rake to the eye.
Yep, a quick one so the ref couldn't tell if it was a throat check instead.
Yep, and then he grabbed Sheamus's wrists underneath the exposed,
connector.
It's metal. He yanks Sheamus into it. Throat goes into the connector.
Ooh.
Sheamus then rolls back into the ring for a Mashka kick.
1, 2, 3.
Rusev picks up the win.
Yeah.
And it was, oh my God. Give me a best of 7.
Yeah.
Give me a best of 7.
This ain't a one and done rivalry, which we'll see a rivalry that they decided, you know what? This isn't going to be a one and done later in the show. But first, your GMs have a little vignette to announce another match for Evolution. Very similar to the first Evolution, there's going to be a Battle Royal.
And the winner goes on to have a championship match at Clash at Porus. That's Trevor has written on the board.
There is a little tail.
Zach says Pons. But no, Clash at Paris.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think, I love a Battle Royal.
Yeah. And one of the people to announce their participants is one Ivy Nile, coming with the Creed brothers alongside her, getting interviewed post announcing that Chad is on injury sabbatical. And they're like, listen, while Chad's gone, we're going to do our best to try to get on the top. And as they're speaking, in walks in none other than El Grande Americano.
But I thought Chad Gable undergone shoulder surgery.
Yeah. But who's been lurking in the background of all the American-made spots? None other than, you can obviously tell from the body type and how much taller El Grande has mysteriously gotten. One, Ludwig Kaiser is suspected to now be under the mask. And you laughed at me last week for what the internet was saying.
It's still fucking stupid, Trevor.
It is.
Ayo, what the fuck? Gunther, get your boy.
Yeah. I
thought you were done. I thought you didn't like all the goofy, funny shit. Get your boy.
What'd your boy just agree to? We do see him in the next segment. However, Kathy needs to fill in interview time, and she decides to turn to one Sami Zayn, stretching for his tag match. That's our main event, when all of a sudden, whap!
Yeah, Karrion Kross decides to murder Sami Zayn.
Yep, he's like, say it. You didn't say it in Saudi. You can say it here, though. And he decides, if you're not going to say it, I'll make sure you never say another word again.
And hits him with a pipe to the ribs.
And we think this is going to take Sami out for the tag match. But we'll get to that later.
And now we get... And you know what's funny? I said it in the beginning of the show when we were talking about it. I forget who world champion is. Just because I haven't done anything with them. Oh, yeah, no, I remember now. That motherfucker Gunther is back on Demon Time. Fuck you mean. This was one of the best promos he has delivered in recent time. This is Gunther. He came out, he talked to shit. He said, look, Goldberg had a wonderful vignette going over his career. But unfortunately, it was 3 minutes, just like most of his matches in his career.
Yeah.
He said, I am going to go out there because I know I can beat him in 3 minutes. I know I can beat him in under 3 minutes. But guess what? I don't want to do that. I want to take him out to the waters. I want to blow him up. I want to gas him out. I want to beat him and humiliate him in front of everything and everyone he loves and cares about. This is fucking Gunther. You can't even say this was bad.
No, it was good, yeah.
Like, and then, also, while he's saying this, he is staring down our souls.
Yep.
In the camera.
He's staring at the action shot cam with full intent of making sure we know who's on top. But someone else wants to be on top of that mountain.
And coming out with his new custom briefcase,
One.
Seth frickin' Rollins. And this is what I've always wanted. They're now letting Gunther mix with the big boys.
Yep.
Because if he's world champion, you should book him against the main stars in your company on your roster and not the fucking mid-card division.
But Seth comes out and is like, "Sup, Gunther? Did you forget I exist? Did you forget I have this? Because sure, I interrupted that match in Saudi, but that's because of a personal vendetta. I said as long as there's breath in my lungs, CM Punk will never win a world championship in this company ever again. And I fulfilled that promise. I stood on business in Saudi. But don't forget, this briefcase is for anybody." Yup.
Here comes CM Punk to kick some ass.
Yep. CM Punk was like, "Oh, you stood on business in Saudi? Try doing it again right now."
Yep. And he gets a few hits on Rollins. Rollins then runs.
Yep. All the way up to
stands.
the audience. CM Punk is like, "Nah, I ain't gonna chase you." Leaves to turn. Gunther, feeling a little disrespected, tries to grab Punk for an apology. And Punk just decks Gunther.
Yep.
And Punk is like, "Try that again and I'll deal with you later."
Yes. Yes. Give me Punk Gunther. I want to see him murder an old man.
Yes, but Seth is laughing at the scene he's created when all of a sudden it looks like an audience member is trying to return their seat. Popcorn in hand and everything, when all of a sudden they linger behind Seth.
And it is none other than L.A. Knight. Yeah.
And he beats the brakes off of Seth.
Yeah. They fight amongst the arena. And oh my God, bruh, I would love that if I was in the arena and they just started brawling out in front of me. That'd be perfect. But yeah, no, Seth Rollins does get away.
Yep. And the GMs decide to make this a match at Saturday Night Main Event. It will be Seth Rollins versus LA Knight. CM Punk in a later promo is like, "Hey, listen, I get you might have some personal business with that group, but when it comes to Seth personally, he's mine. Get in the back of the line." And LA Knight's like, "Listen, you guys are on the same show, so you can have him 6 days of the week, but when it comes to that 7th day on Saturday, GM's just made it official. He's mine. So right now you are in the back of the line. Yeah."
He said, "I am the line." Yeah. And then he left.
Yep.
And then earlier in the show, we did see Lyra and Bailey get into a bit of a scuffle, like argumentative wise.
Yep. And the GM for Raw, Adam Pearce, decided, listen. You guys got beef with each other. You guys got beef with Becky. So how about this? You two can settle your beef in the ring to see who gets first dibs on their beef with Becky as a #1 contender for the IC Championship.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what? Sounds like a done deal.
Yeah.
And we get this match right away. Lyra, or not right away, but right away now.
Yeah.
Lyra and Bailey, #1 contendership for the Women's IC Championship. And this match cooks.
Near falls, technical prowess, switch ups out of nowhere.
Hard-hitting action. Lyra Valkyria, Bailey. What else is there needed? What else needs to be said? Like, there's everything that you could want in this match.
The women's IC scene is actually real good, despite it being basically 3 women with Ivy on the side right now.
Yeah, but I think with call-ups coming, you freshen up. You get... I would prefer two people to be added, two women to be added to each division. But that's
Yeah.
kind of hard to do.
Yeah.
And by that, I mean, like, have Lyra move up to the women's division, or, like, the women's world title division,
Yeah.
and then have someone else move up,
I kind of do
like
want it.
Stephanie move up in there.
Io's probably retaining, so I would not mind seeing Io and Lyra go at it. I feel like they would cook.
Mm-hmm. Well, Kyrie's in there now.
Yeah.
Liv is out, so we have to
Wait
leave
to
a spot for her.
Yeah, we have to wait to see which spot she's going to fill in when she returns.
But, like, 2 for the IC, 2 for the women's US, 2 for the women's
Yeah.
WWE women's. Just because that gives us more people for rivalries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think people understand, like, 2 people can fill a lot. You can do a lot with just 2 extra.
I mean, we're starting to see how much life is being breathed into the US scene by just adding Julia to it.
Yes.
It's like the scene feels decently important now with just one woman added.
And, you know, speaking of talent and, like, scenes, this match ends inconclusively.
Yep.
It is a draw. Both women's
Shoulders were down.
for the 3 count.
Yep. So your ref, Jessica Carr, says that it ends in a draw, which means the number 1 contender is still a question mark. But anyone who has any reasoning in how wrestling works is that just means Adam Pearce is going to make it a triple threat at Evolution.
Yep. And now, it is our main event of the evening.
We have one
BBL!
Braun Breaker and one Big Bronson Reed. Now, with an official tag entrance theme, which is just the main lyrics of Braun Breaker's theme, but instead of the sirens opening up, it is the city destruction sound effects that Bronson Reed's theme had.
Taking on Penta and Sami Zayn.
I thought he was taken out.
So the fuck did I? Why is he here?
Yeah, and Sammy, you were not selling those ribs.
No. I get adrenaline is a thing, but that's a gimmick infringement, brother.
Yeah.
He's over on SmackDown, and he has a fuck-ass tattoo on his neck.
Yeah. He does do it in a couple spots, but the majority of the match he was doing his basic stuff, which if you look at some of his decently basic stuff and some of his bigger spots, that would agitate a rib injury.
He literally picked Bronson Reed up for a suplex.
And then sold that his ribs are hurt for like 3 seconds.
He did an Arabian press to the outside.
And we cut to commercial to not see if he sold it or not.
Well, no, he did the Sabu tribute, and then they cut to commercial. So, yeah,
But... And his bandages fell off in the latter half of the match.
I like when that happens because it shows like they're actually doing stuff, but...
Brother,
sell the ribs. Remember when Penta came in and it looked like his fucking arm was broken? Like that's how much he was selling it, or his leg? It was one of the two.
Yeah.
And he sold it the whole match. Like, oh. Also, Penta really didn't get a lot of ring time.
No, at least on screen. He might have gotten more during commercial breaks, but still, the frick.
Yeah,
Sammy's
this
a ring
ends...
hog.
What?
Sammy's a ring hog.
This ends with a surprise spear.
Yep.
What'd you say? He V-clipped in...
Yeah.
He V-clipped into the frame, just... Whee!
Yep. And this is probably one of the few spots Sammy actually sells the ribs, because he doesn't kick out of this for once in his life.
1, 2, 3. BBL's on a 3-win streak.
Yeah, and they decide, you know what? Both people are decently dead. Let's finish the job.
Yeah. They go to attack And who comes out? None other than the main event, Jey Uso.
Yeah, can't have an episode of Raw without him.
You could. But here's the thing. And here's what I don't understand about wrestlers' logic. Because, like, I know it's a TV show, but if I have my opponent down and someone's coming out to save them,
I'm gonna finish what I'm doing.
I'm going to finish what I'm doing. Make sure they definitely not going to be able
I'm
to-
already on the mid rope. Instead of climbing down, I can climb up and still tsunami a mother.
Yeah, I could just do a flash tsunami, bop, and then get up.
Yeah, but Jay comes out equipped with a chair, and apparently Braun Breaker had some receipts he had yet to cash in. Cause Jay, what the?
Bro, Jay, are you a music producer? Because you put some mustard on those goddamn chair shots. What the fuck? Bro,
What did he
it
do?
looked like Braun needed some receipts served. Like, and then he gets in, makes the save on, he takes out Bronson,
Yep.
and we end the show.
Yeah. And that's 3 members of Team Babyface for War Games.
Yep. Setting up War Games. LA Knight will be in War Games.
Probably. And people are speculating that Cody, of course, is going to be the 5th man, although one of those 5 is speculated to be switched out with a newly faced John Cena.
It's not speculated. It's what I think is going to happen.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm speculating. But
Yeah.
yeah, that is it for this episode of Monday Night Raw. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
Perfect. Bro, if they switched this to this time every time, it would be so beautiful.
My co-host works first shift. He likes sleep.
I get up at, or my shift starts at 5 a.m. I get up at 4:30, so this is also late. I'm gonna go home and crash. But this is it for this episode of Disqualified. I am your main roster predictions champion, your first 2-time, Caleb. This is your NXT predictions champion, Trevin, and that is our producer and cameraman, Zach. And be sure to like. Tell us what you thought of the episode down below. Share, subscribe, ring that bell 3 times so you know the match is up. And we will see you next time. Thank you for your time. Peace.
Bye!